quarter century behind bars for a murder he was wrongfully convicted of has now been ordered to repay more than $1 million to the state. It is part of a Court of Appeals decision after a separate lawsuit paid him more than $7 million. This is a story I have been following for years. Back in 2017, our cameras were rolling as Desmond Ricks learned he would be released from prison. And today I talked with his former attorney and a state lawmaker in response to this latest move by judges.
For roughly 25 years, Desmond Ricks was an inmate in state prison where he always maintained his innocence for the crime of murder. And then in 2017, a judge ordering his release, finding he had been wrongfully convicted. Ricks was among those who received $50,000 a year for every year of incarceration under the state's Wrongful Imprisonment Compensation Act, also known as WICA. For Ricks, it amounted to $1.25 million from the state.
Desmond Ricks endured the worst kind of harm and suffering you can imagine.
One of his attorneys at the time was Wolf Mueller.
25 years in a cage for a crime he did not commit. The compensation under the state, which was $1.25 million, doesn't come close to the harm that he suffered.
Ricks then won over $7.5 million in a lawsuit against the city of Detroit that accused the detectives on his case of corruption. That's when the state wanted him to repay their $1.25 million to the WICA fund. The law requires that payback is done if a third party issues compensation. In the case of Ricks, it was the city of Detroit. Ricks sued to keep the WICA money, but the state court said he could not keep it.
This was a bipartisan bill.
State Senator Joe Bellino from Monroe says the matter is more involved than simply paying out WICA funds to those wrongfully convicted and moving on. To be